Welcome in, my glorious human being. Mia here with Spiritual Society. I'm so happy to have you here with me for this reading. Someone accidentally fell in love with you. Let's find out everything that we can. I want you to go ahead and take a moment, and I'd like you to choose between these two crystals. I have blue lace agate and I have carnelian. Blue lace agate and carnelian. If you feel pulled towards both, stay for both readings. There's something there for you. Take a moment, take a breath, inhale. As you exhale, make a choice right now. Hello, my gorgeous blue lace. Let's get started. Someone accidentally fell in love with you. I'd love to start in my blue deck because we're starting with that blue lace vibe. And let's just get started and see what we have. I'm not going to ask any additional questions. I just want the cards to guide us and lead us to where we're going. So let's see what we have. Okay. Yes. Let yourself be in a space that's just open, full of potential, full of possibility. Let your aura and energy just be open and clear and receptive to answers, to every good thing that is coming in for you. So let's see what we have. Looks like I have 6 cards, and I have the Page of Wands, I have the Queen of Cups, I have the High Priestess, I have the 2 of Cups, and I have the 8 of Swords. So what I'm seeing here, first of all, right away, is that the Page of Wands is a youthful messenger card. So I'm seeing that you've been getting messages about this already. You already, this is already in your world. This is someone that could have actually reached out, that might have, said something, or asked you out, or has made some kind of verbal message. But this really could also get into something where, you were doing a visualization and you were visualizing your future, and this person just popped up. And you were like, oh, I wasn't really expecting that person to be a part of my journey or my story, but this person's face is somehow here. So I feel like there's an incoming message coming in about who this is. If you have your intuition notebook nearby, just jot down the first name that comes up for you, but maybe jot down a couple of names. Jot down a couple of things that are there for you, because there's something important there that's already coming in, that you already have divine inspiration about, that you already have this, it's already in your energy field somewhere. We have the Queen of Cups next. So I do think that your intuition is lit up about this person, but I also think this is telling us that this person sees you in this glorious divine feminine energy that is full of depth, full of emotion, full of intuition and knowing, and just really in the world in this very energetic way where you're communing with the energy around you, with your emotions, with your feelings, with everything that's just, you're sort of gracefully flowing. And I use the word flowing because of that divine feminine energy. This is a very divine feminine card, and it is full of emotion and full of feelings and full of intuition. And I think they really see you in that way, and in this fluid, moving, graceful, seeing the world in this sort of energetic, now is the moment, sort of taking in the beauty of each piece of everything kind of way. And I think that there's a part of you too that probably feels this in the presence of this person, that this person, no matter how much time you spent with them, if you've spent the most minimal amount of time where you really just sort of, have seen each other, but you haven't really talked all that much, or this is someone from the past who's come back around, or this is somebody who's in your world right now that you've been dating, or, that you feel like you embody this when you're with them as well, that suddenly your energy shifts and you're really able to be in this free space of divine feminine energy. The next thing we have is the High Priestess, which is, really holds a lot of similarities with our Queen of Cups, in that intuition way, in that deeply intuitive, deeply divine feminine energy in tune with the energetic world around you. Now, this also gets into a space where I think your intuition is really lit up about this person. Now, when we talked about those messages coming in from our Page of Wands, as I think that really resonates in this space too, that the intuitions you get about this person, the deep inner knowing that you get about this person, that is something that's coming from a deeper space within you. Our high priestess is really, close to the veil, really reading information from all sources, from all around her. So I feel like you're in a really interesting seat with this person where you understand things that they're putting out into the world in an energetic way. It doesn't have to be verbal. It doesn't have to be something where you can, say it and describe it to a friend in a way that's compelling or that makes sense. It doesn't have to make sense. You can know something about them without it having to make sense. That's the type of energetic bond you have with this person, the type of connection you have with this person. And again, I feel like you are more deeply in this space when you are in this person's presence, that they put you in a space and a feeling where suddenly you are more in touch with your intuition. You are in this deep energetic space. You are in a sense of, oh, the world is full of grays, like there's the dark and the light, but there's everything in between. And you're very, very wise about everything in between, seeing things really in the scope of how they are, not just in, black and white. Only the Two of Cups. So I do see this as potential soulmate bonding. I mean, this is kind of like our Lover's card in the Minor Arcana. It is a card of deep communication, togetherness, really being in a place of equality with each other, tons of feelings and emotions, but those feelings and emotions are really given on both sides. So this isn't a case where, one of you is going to feel a whole bunch of emotions and the other person doesn't reciprocate or takes so much time to reciprocate, or it's really equal, that it's a shared giving, that you are in this sense of partnership, togetherness, that you're walking the same path together. You're both bringing your feelings and emotions to the table together. You both want to be there. You both want to be in the same space, and you are in the same space. And then we have the Eight of Swords popping up at the end here, which is really interesting because we've had a lot of really good messages, and then the Eight of Swords comes in and it's kind of like, ooh. So what I would love from this card, what I would really love, the first thing that I think of is to step outside of your fear-based thinking. Anything that pops up with this that feels like, but what if, but what, that starts to get into that fear-based thinking, I want you to think, no, not today. Not today, fear, not today. I'm sorry, I'm not here for that kind of thinking at the moment. That's not where I am. I'm here to be in the presence of potential, possibility, openness, expansiveness, freedom. And I'm not here for the fear. So this feels like there is something about this person. They could be in some fear-based thinking where they feel trapped, they feel a little imprisoned by their own thoughts, that they don't feel that they can, comfortably reach out the way that they need to, or move things forward the way they need to, or up-level things the way they need to, or communicate how they feel the way they'd like to. So this could be coming from this person, but also I think there's something in you. I think that there's something in you that might pop up that starts to get into the potential fears, the potential worries, the potential problems, all the things that just start to pop up that really have no place. We don't really need that right now. It's not actually moving us forward. It's not actually doing anything for you. The only thing it's doing is limiting you, and it's keeping you trapped in a space that you might not want to be in, that might not feel lovely and free and like you can run forward into the great unknown, into the expansiveness of the world the way it's meant to be for you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, I'm going to go to my old trusty deck, of course, because this deck is wonderful, and she just wants to give us some information. So I don't know that I'm ready to ask questions yet. I just want to pull 4 cards from her, and then I think we want to ask some more specific questions. So I just want to pull 4 cards from our old trusty deck about this person who has accidentally fallen in love with you. Just 4 cards, because our old trusty deck gives us some really good information. And then we'll go in with some questions. Hi, we have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Swords. We have the 10 of Cups. And we have the Page of Pentacles, another page. Okay, yeah. Okay, I pulled two tens for you. I have a 2 in between those two tens. And the tens are cards of completion. It's the ending of something, the beginning of something new. And I'm seeing both of these two tens are lovely. And they're wonderful to pull when we're talking about a romantic connection. That I feel like our old trusty deck is affirming that feeling that, yeah, this could be soulmate level connection. This person, that this could be something that is truly expansive and wonderful and glorious for you and your future moving forward. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of generosity, generational wealth. I often say, I almost always say, it's that feeling of like, oh, you're sitting down at a giant banquet hall meal with your, with your family. It's this feeling of like happy family dinner. Like, it doesn't have to be a real family. This could be like just this feeling of like, oh, I'm in the presence of family now, like with your person, with any other people there that make it feel like family. Everybody has their favorite foods. There's laughter. There's this buzz in the air. There are animals around. There's this sense of joy and prosperity, and that everybody has everything they want, everything they need. Everyone's taken care of. This feeling that whatever needs to be given is given, whatever needs to be taken is taken. It's just this beautiful feeling of generosity, of wealth, of abundance, that everything is coming in and it feels so good and it feels so safe. And it feels like there's this bridge coming up for you with this potential person. That if you walk over this bridge, the ending of something, the beginning of something new, that it will lead to this place that feels scrumptious, that feels delightful, that feels satisfying and good and happy and content, and feels really lovely. Now we do have the Two of Swords in between these two tens. So let me go ahead and talk about this other 10. We also have the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups, again, another card of completion. The cups get into feelings and emotions. So this also, I love to pull when we're talking about love, romance. I mean, this is like, I call this our happy ever after card, because that's how it feels like, oh, we're walking off into the sunset. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it beautiful? And they lived happily ever after. It has that feeling of overflow, of abundance in this emotional way that you've never felt so loved. You've never given so much love. It feels like all the love, all the feeling, all the emotion is present between the two of you. Again, we had the Two of Cups, which is that standing side by side. We are equals in this. We both have this shared experience of what we're feeling together and how much we emotionally connect and how much we love each other. And this, again, has that same feeling, these two people standing together, opening their arms to the world together, that you are open to the possibility of everything that's coming to you, all of the good things, that you're open to it all just dropping in for you together, side by side, equals, in this space where it's shared. It's a complete shared experience. Also, again, this feeling of family, this feeling of home, whatever that looks like. Home for one person could be like, oh, we want to go live in a new country every year. It could be whatever that feels like, but this person feels like home. And this person feels like family, like your family, like you've created this feeling. It feels just so abundant. So that is our other 10. Now, in between those two tens, we have the Two of Swords. So I do see here that there is our old trusty deck, of course, coming in with the deep information that we need, is saying, hey, there is also a decision that's going to have to be made here. We had our Eight of Swords, which really got into that, you could get trapped into your own thoughts. You could get trapped into fear-based thinking. That could keep you from moving forward into this. That could keep you from opening your energy up to this in a way that allows this person to really, take you on this ride, move things forward. And they have the potential to trap themselves into some of that fear too. But it looks like you might have to make a choice here, that there is a road coming up where you're going to have to make some decisions. And you might have to choose between this person, and you might have to choose between another person. Or you might have to choose between like, oh, I'm not ready to open my heart yet, staying closed off, staying in a fear-based place, and choosing to open yourself up. There's a big decision coming up for you, a big choice that needs to be made. And this card really reminds us as well that not making a choice is still a choice. So if you decide not to choose to really say, hey, I choose you. I want to move forward with this. Hey, I choose openness. I choose expansiveness. I choose to have a happy, beautiful, generous life where things feel like they're all dropping in for me. I'm going to choose this over what feels comfortable right now, which happens to be the space I've been in, which might be more closed off, or more in your worries, more in your fear-based thinking, more in that space of, all the things that could go wrong. That not making a choice is still a choice. That something will happen, a decision will be made, it just might not be your decision. This is an important one. I would like to ask, we have our Page of Pentacles. Before we get to our Page of Pentacles, I would like to just pull 2 cards from Old Trusty deck. And I would like to ask about this decision that you have to make. If there's anything you need to know about that, if there's anything, like if this is between 2 different people, if there's, anything that we really need to know, or if this is something that just anything we might need to know about making this choice. So these are going to be a little surprise. Yay! Under the tree. Not that time of year, but under the tree. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles. So our Page of Pentacles, another youthful messenger card. And this card really gets into like, hey, messages coming in about this abundance, about this. I really feel like our old trusty is saying, hey, you don't have to, this isn't going to be something where you have to figure this all out alone. That you have to just like hope that that you see what could be abundant for you, or what could feel like it's that it's feeding you, that it's nourishing you. It's not a blind road. There's going to be a lot of messages coming in. It's not something that you're just going to be like, go find it, good luck. It's going to be something where there's lots of little, like crumbs along the way for you to follow, lots of signs. This is like a clear hiking trail, clear as day. Okay, we have a sign here. It's got a paint marking there. It is like all the brush has been moved out of the way. You're going to have a lot of signs along the way, so you're not going to really be left out on your own here, which is really nice and reassuring from our old trusty deck. Okay, getting into our presents. Let's see what we have from our old trusty deck. We have the 7 of Swords, and we have the Hermit. We have the 7 of Swords and the Hermit. So this is about that choice, that decision, that one way or the other way. So with both of these, oh goodness, the 7 of Swords feels like the 7 of Swords can be a deceiving card. It can be a card of, something, someone or something making away with something, a kind of thieving card. And the Hermit is a very enclosed card of dipping into yourself, turning into yourself, getting into an interior space. So what this feels like is that you could decide to turn away from that. Mostly it's you that it would be on this other path. It's not necessarily, someone else. I mean, there could be other people, but the big thing that you want to watch out for is turning so far inside of yourself and turning away from that, internalizing so much that the opportunities make off, that the things become taken away from you, that things disappear from you because you've decided to just disappear from the opportunities that you've decided to internalize so much, or you've decided to turn inwards. See if that hits with your intuition. If that hits with your intuition, I would make some notes about that right now, because that feels very important with that big decision coming up, that you are facing these 2 sort of paths, and one feels, a little lonely, a little alone. It feels, a little colder, and, this can be a great card, but in this case, it feels like it's sort of turning away from, this abundance of love that is also on offer, the opportunities that are there, and then they could just kind of, run off, be taken away, get thieved away, that something could be stolen from you because you're turning inward so much. Whew. Let's just take a moment to open yourself up right now, physically open yourself up, and just take a breath into that. If you feel like you want to be walking a path that is walking towards this abundance that might be on offer, that might be available, Let yourself maybe just vocalize that. I want to be open to love. I want to be open to the abundance of feeling completely loved, safe, secure, feeling an overwhelm of loving more than I ever have before, feeling more loved than I ever have before. I want to feel that. I want to be open to the potential. I want to be open to the possibility. I don't want to be so scared that I turn into myself. I don't want to be so imprisoned by old thoughts, old memories, by things that have happened in the past that I turn into myself and I don't open myself up to this. I want to be open to what life has to offer me. Just vocalize a little bit right now. Ooh, this feels like a really good time to pull an oracle card, doesn't it? I want to pull an angel and ancestor card for you for this energy specifically. So for this energy specifically, pulling an angel and ancestor card. I pulled the guardian angel card. You are not alone. Guardian angel card. You are not alone. You are not alone. And I would look for feathers. There's a feather on this card. I would look for feathers out in the world. Notice feathers. And notice feathers as a sign that you are not alone. When you see birds, you see a bird fly by, I am not alone. When you see a feather on the street or on a path, or you are not alone. Feathers. Just look for feathers. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's continue on. Okay, let's take a look at, I want to dip into our pink deck, and I really just want to dip into your energy. What do you need to do for yourself to help open yourself up to this? What actions can you take for this to become a real, something real that's like, hey, we're in the space. We're in our happy ever after energy. We're in our 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 2 of Cups energy, and I'm in all my divine feminine energy. I want to just pull some cards around actions that you can take, but also just information and messages about you and your heart space, what we need to know about moving you forward on a path that is about love, soulmateship, abundance, everything you want dropping in. All right, so our gorgeous sassy pink deck, who can be sassy, Hi, King of Wands. Oh boy, we have a Page of Cups. Third page we've pulled. Messages coming in all over the place. Second time we pulled the High Priestess. We have the 5 of Pentacles. And we have the 6 of Wands. Okay, a 5 and then a 6. Okay, here we are. I'm loving the messages we're getting from our pink sassy deck. First of all, we have the King of Wands. So I feel like this deck is saying, all right, so first of all, what I'd like you to do is, as far as actions goes, to just let yourself imagine this energy that is lit up. This is a masculine energy. In its masculine seat of power, it does feel safe. It feels secure. It feels rock solid, steady. This feels like somebody who is passionate, who's purposeful, who is inspired by the world around them, inspired by life, has out-of-the-box thinking, is successful because of the way that they pursue relentlessly what they desire. There's no obstacles for this person. They are so capable. They're so resourceful. Whatever it is they set their mind to getting, they get. They do. They have a real drive and force field that is moving forward towards life, towards experience, towards what their goals are, but also just fostering that feeling of feeling alive. So I want you to just imagine being with this person who is in that energy, and maybe some of that energy rubs off on you. Maybe some of that energy lets you feel like your best version of yourself. Not that you have to become the same energy, but that you're allowed to sit into your feminine energy, your divine feminine energy, which is showing up here with the High Priestess again. You're allowed to be in this space that feels secure, can trust, can feel like, okay, I trust the vision that this person has. I trust my own vision, and that our vision together is clear, it is solid, it is momentum based moving forward. There is something really good. How you feel, how you shift, how you change. And maybe just spend a little bit of time today, set a timer for 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a big commitment, but just for a period of time where you feel like you are in that energy, where you can be this version of yourself that is paired, that is matched, that is standing side by side with this fiery masculine energy. Yeah. See what that does to you. Does that inspire you to take on some more of that energy yourself? Does it inspire you to sit into more of your feminine energy that is more in the, oh, I feel alive. I feel like I'm able to relax into this space if because it just feels so, I feel so supported. I feel like I'm with someone who's really anchoring me, who has a lovely balance to my energy, and it lets me become this more feminine version of myself. Whatever that is that comes up, I just want you to play with it and experiment with it for 10 minutes. You can make a playlist for yourself based on the feelings that come up. Maybe move around and embody that feeling. Maybe do some household chores in that feeling, where you're like, oh, this is what I would do. I would organize my jewelry. I'm going to do a little face routine because that's what feels right, that I'm going to like softly do this. Or maybe it's like gives you more fire energy. So you're like, oh, actually, I think I'm gonna go for a power walk. Whatever that is, I just want you to take note. Maybe take notes in your intuition journal afterwards, but let yourself really embody that. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Then we have the Page of Cups. So we have been getting the pages, through this whole thing. We have our Page of Wands, we have our Page of Pentacles. Now we have the Page of Cups. Our cups getting into those feelings and emotions, all that heart space. So I'm really feeling like our pink deck is saying, yes, you're getting inspirations, but all this other stuff, you're getting feelings, you're getting intuitions, you're getting messages, things are dropping in for you about all of this that's going on, who this person is, sort of like tagging you on like, oh, I know, that this person's already in my energy field. This is saying that I want you to listen to inspirations and intuitions about what's coming in about your heart and your feelings. And this doesn't have to be serious. This is a very playful card. This can be like, oh, it can be kind of funny. You can make yourself laugh through this process, but really let yourself tap into your intuitions about what is touching your heart. What is your energy, your intuitions, your inner knowing, which is so fired up right now that you can trust yourself. This card is popping up. This has popped up twice. It popped up in our blue deck, which, really translates into this other person's energy as well. But it popped up in our pink deck too. In your energy, that you are in this intuitive space. You are so wise right now. You have this deep inner knowing. Maybe you've been in this hermit space for a while. Maybe this would be just staying in the space you're in, not retreating into yourself, but just stasis. This is where I've already been. The opportunity could pass me by because I don't want to get out of my comfort zone of where I've been all this time. I want to stay in this self-reflecting like little bubble of mine. I don't want to open myself up to the rest of the world yet. And if you've been in that space, you can trust the things that you've learned there. You know so much about who you are, what you want, what your deep inner truths are. There is so much that you can, that you can really rely on within yourself. So I'd love for you to take some time to really listen to those messages. What is coming in from yourself, from your own heart space, from your own feelings? And maybe try to make it playful. You don't have to, but maybe try to make it playful. Well, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I think my heart space has been sharing with me about what I need, what's a real dose of little like self-truths are that, oh yeah, I got hurt in this way and that was painful, but like, hey little birdie, it's time to fly again. Hey little birdie, off you go. So I'd love for you to spend a little time doing that. And, you can set a time for yourself. You could do this right before you go to bed. Just jot down two intuitions that are coming up from your heart space, from your feeling space. Maybe 2 intuitions when you wake up in the morning. And maybe this is something you want to spend some more time on. You want to really dig in there and grab some more information. Now we have the 5 of Pentacles, which is fascinating because we have both the 10 of Pentacles that card of completion, that abundance. I would pull it out, but it's now underneath of it's now underneath our guardian angel card. It's underneath of some stuff, so I'm not going to pull it out. But that 10 of Pentacles card, that was that abundance, that feeling of sitting down at that, like, oh, this feels like family, giant dinner, everybody's satisfied, laughter, inside jokes, like everything feels good and happy and feels lovely, animals around. So we pull up that. Now this is in direct contrast to that. This is kind of the opposite feeling. This is a card of hunger. This is a card of not being satiated. This is a card of being in the cold. This is a card of being unsatisfied. This is a card of not having what you need. That could be in the physical world. That could also just be in that feelings and emotion space. But this is the card of feeling like you're struggling, how do I make ends meet? How do I make things happen? How do I get what I need? I'm hungry, I'm starving, where do I go? I'm cold, my feet, I need shoes. Like, it is just snowing, it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable. And what I really want you to think of here with this card popping up, I want to read this the way that I see this, but I don't love saying this. I'm going to say that to just going to put that out there. I don't love saying this, but it feels like our pink deck is saying, you have options. You could choose this. You could choose being in the cold. You could choose hunger. You don't have to choose sitting down at a giant table with everything you want, with everything you desire, contentedness, satisfaction. You get to decide. The universe isn't going to push you into one or the other. This is a place where you get to decide here. There are options. There are things available to you. And if you want to choose hunger, if you want to choose struggle, if you want to be uncomfortable and be in struggle energy, that is available to you. Is that possibly what you've been choosing recently? Maybe for a long time. Maybe you had parents that chose hunger and chose to feel like they were always struggling and never felt abundance. And now it feels really weird and uncomfortable to consider choosing abundance. I'm not saying that that's so, but I would love for you to just think about this, because this is popping up, that there's a possibility you have chosen before, maybe right now, this place, this dissatisfaction, this feeling of like, I don't have what I need and I'm never going to get it. This feeling of like grasping, needing, feeling desperate. And you could continue choosing that if you decided to, or it could be a choice that you're about to make or that you might want to make in the future that might come up for you. So, as an action item, we have a little truck beeping going on outside, but as an action item, really I just want you to think about this and consider it with curiosity, because this is like a little uncomfortable to even think about. It's uncomfortable to think that you would put yourself in a position of, that is less than what you want to give to yourself. I think what I would do is I would have you do a little mirror work. I'd have you sit in front of a mirror and talk to yourself and just talk through this and just ask, is it possible? Is it possible that I have been addicted to the sense of struggle, or that I have chosen to struggle when I could have been sitting into abundance? Is it possible that I might choose a path of struggle and difficulty and hunger and desperation over a path of abundance? And just talk to yourself about that. And maybe this gets into a space where you eventually, if you do find that somewhere, that you maybe apologize to yourself, or that you shine love on yourself, or that you make, a sort of a pact or a promise with yourself that I am going to do my very best to choose abundance for you, that I believe you're worthy of abundance. I believe you're worthy of sitting down to something that feels satisfying and loving and good. And that is, if I get the choice between these two things, that I will choose for you to sit at a table where you're loved, where you feel so much love, where you're happy, where you don't have to struggle. Whew. Ooh. Now, the next card that we have is the Six of Wands, which is a completely different feeling. So this is a card of winning. It is a card of confidence. It is a card of victory. It is a card of feeling like, yeah, I can do anything. Of course I can. And we're in the Wands energy that is being lit up. It is being alive. It is feeling passionate, purposeful, momentum-based, growth-based. It is a really splendid card. And so I feel like this is our pink deck saying there's this other energy to step into, and you know about it. You know how to tap into that in you. That's a choice that you get to make. And I would say as an action item, what I would play with here is maybe you make that playlist for that energy that we talked about with, the energy that's compatible with that King of Wands energy, whatever that brings up in me. Maybe you make another playlist that is like, hey, this is my winning playlist. This is my confident playlist. When I need to pump myself up, this is when I'm going to pump myself up. If you want to make a playlist like that, you could call it your Six of Wands playlist. You could call it winning. You could call it confident. But whatever you choose to label it as, maybe make that playlist. That is going to be my action item that I give to you from our pink sassy deck, because she's got some sassy answers. That is like, hey, okay, you need some tools here. You need some divine tools to step into this winning energy. Yeah, use those tools. Help yourself get some momentum so you can get, okay, I have to get up out of myself. I have to get up into this space that is moving forward, that is in motion, and that feels like I'm capable of anything. I can do anything. I can step out into the world. I can go down any path. I can be open to anything. I can have the potential for anything. That you feel this like, yeah, I'm in my vibe. I'm in my good space. And once, like, maybe make a little list. You can make that playlist of winning, confident, called confident, called Six of Wands energy. You can also maybe write down like, hey, what colors make me feel the most confident? What outfits make me feel the most confident? That make me feel like I am winning life? What items can I do? What things naturally put me in a space to feel like, hey, I'm winning? I feel good. I feel like, maybe that is getting your hair done. Maybe that is like, okay, I'm going to spend extra special time on my hair, because when my hair looks amazing, I feel like I am winning. I am in my most confident energy. Okay, actually wearing like this certain bold color makes me feel more bold. No, I'm not afraid to be seen. No, I'm not apologizing for my energy. No, I'm not dimming myself down. I'm going to be as bright as I want to be. Whatever those things are, maybe just make a little list. Just journal it down. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but really step into those things for maybe this next week, right away. Launch yourself into this energy. If you want to, if you so choose. Again, this is a choice. The universe is offering you choice. This isn't something you have to do. You can choose whichever, path you want to be in, or something in the middle. But if you want to experiment with this, stepping into this expansiveness, stepping into this open energy, I'm fearless. I don't live in a space or make decisions from a space of fear. I'm not, closing in on myself. I am not going to be in struggle energy anymore. I'm going to be in, hey, there's nothing to struggle with, because nothing can chain me down. That kind of feeling. What are those things that can help get your energy into that space? Dancing around, a certain morning routine, maybe movement, maybe working out, maybe spending extra time on, certain things, or maybe it's speaking a certain way that you feel bold enough to like put yourself out there, to say yes to a couple of things that do scare you, a presentation that you have to make, a talk that you have to give. Those are basically the same thing, but whatever that is. Talking to a certain person, or saying hi to a couple of strangers throughout the day. Whatever those things are, I want you to jot those things down. So that is, divine guidance from our pink sassy deck. Oh my goodness. I really feel like we could go on for a very long time. I feel like we could delve in for an entire additional amount of time. I know that you've been with me for a while, so thank you for staying with me for all this time. Let's pull, I'm gonna wrap us up, because I'm going long, but but I feel like there's so much more to dive into. I'll make sure there's a link, below. So if you want to get some more answers, I want to pull a Moonology card for you. And I also want to grab a one word piece of inspo for you. Okay. So from our Moonology deck, we have adjustments are required. Adjustments are required. If you want to step into that expansiveness, if you want to step into the possibility of like potential soulmateship with this person or any person, or feeling like your best self, like adjustments need to be made. There's some things that got to change. It's a choice. It's not something the universe is just going to push you into. It's, there's no mama bird except for you. You are the mama bird that is pushing yourself out of the nest. There's nothing else. There's no one else that's going to do that for you. Adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. Whew, whew. Okay. Before I pull that word, I would love for you to subscribe. I would love for you to love this video. Absolutely. Please comment. Write. I want to hear. Are you going to do these things? Is this something that you're gonna embody? Are you what things are you willing to take action on, that you're committing to take action on today? And how does this resonate with you? How does this feel? Does this feel right? And then let's drop an emoji. Oh boy. Ooh, there's, okay. Okay. I'm going to say, should we drop the word winning below for that Six of Wands energy? I think we should, because that's a strong, powerful word. And you deserve all that winning energy. You don't have to feel it. You don't have to embody it yet. But drop it in all caps below, winning. To just claim this reading, to like say, hey, I'm here with you. And then also, I'd love to hear if you are gonna, follow through on some of those action items. Okay, I want to pull a word for you. So these are words that are gonna lead us to inspired, like an inspired space of where to go, what to do, of guidance. Your word, your word is action. Action is your word. Yeah, okay. There we go. There's your word, action. Ready, set, action. It's time to take some action. I would love for you to let this word be your inspiration for the week. So maybe it becomes your one word mantra. Action, take action, action. What can I do right now? What can I do today? What can I do in this moment? What can I take action on? Just look for all the ways that you could take action. Maybe just repeat it over and over to yourself. Okay, I don't know what else to do, but I'm gonna take action. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna make that playlist. I'm gonna wear this thing. I'm gonna go out in the world. I'm gonna take action, move forward, action. Ooh, goodness me. Wow. Yeah, your high priestess self, you have such deep inner knowing. Trust that. You're so wise. You have such divine intuition at your fingertips. There's something so beautiful in the wings for you, so close to your energy right now. Something with real potential. It feels so good. Sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light, so much confidence, so much power, so much openness, expansiveness. And I really choose what you choose for yourself. I support what you choose for yourself, what you want for yourself. Clarity and answers, and every divine good thing that is meant for your greatest good, for what you want for yourself, what you desire in this world. Okay, I'm going to see you so very soon. Mia. Hello, my lovely Carnelian. Oh, someone accidentally fell in love with you. Let's find out. Okay, so we're starting off with that red Carnelian energy. I think we're going to pop into our pink sassy deck. So let's start off in our pink sassy deck today for you. Okay. I want you to go ahead and just be yourself. Let yourself release anything that's not good for you, anything that feels stagnant, anything that feels like it's closing you off or shutting you down. Let go of anything that's not authentically you, maybe that you've been putting on for other people, or you feel like you have to, you should. And you're allowed to just come in and be exactly who and where you are right now. That is exactly what we want. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. Pulling a lot of cards. There we are from our pink sassy deck. Let's see what we have. Surprise for you and for me. We have the Two of Wands. Hi, we have the Queen of Swords. We have the Two of Swords right after our Queen of Swords. The Moon reversed. We have the Seven of Wands, and we have the Five of Wands. Tons of Wands action, some deep swords action going on here too. The Moon reverse, sort of throwing things in a little, adding in a little spice for us. All right, so let's find out who this person is that accidentally fell in love with you, what this means, what it looks like, all of the things. First of all, we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is like a traveling card. So what I am feeling from this right away is that this could be someone that is not in your normal path, that is not part of your normal, everyday sort of thing. Now, this could be somebody that you actually met on travels while, out in the world doing your thing. But I also think this could just be someone that's sort of like out off of your normal path. Someone who in sort of traveling into a new thing, you decided to take up a new thing, you went to a new place, you met someone in some sort of new space, maybe you went to a certain class for the first time, or you went to a certain thing at a work thing for the first time, or, this sort of like within this new bubble, this person came in. Now, this could also be somebody you've reconnected with. This could be, an online platform that you've never been on before kind of thing, that or that you got a DM that, randomly that they're new to your world. You're sort of like traveling this new space kind of feeling, but something that feels new, even if it's something that's coming back in, from being old, or something that's even like hasn't been loved, but like, whoops, there it is, but there's some sort of like adventuring going on here, something off of the beaten path, off of your regular. Okay, now, we have the Queen of Swords. Now, this is so interesting because I think that you have a lot of logic going on as it surrounds this person. And I'm seeing that they see you as like so intelligent. Like you might be the smartest woman that they've ever met. They think you feel like so solid and capable as you are, that you have this real strength of character, this strength of will, this strength of understanding who you are and how you see this world and what you think of as your personal truth, as like world truth. You just have this vision of things that has just incredible clarity, and they see that for you. But I also think that you are seeing this person, this situation, all of this, all these components in a real sense of clarity and understanding that what you're seeing is really what's there. You're not being fooled by anything. You're not being taken, for a ride. You're really clear cut. You're seeing things with really clear vision and clear eyes. Now, the Two of Swords comes in right after that. So while I think you have an incredible mental capacity, you're so intelligent, you're so smart, you're able to make good decisions, there is something coming up that feels like a big decision. And this feels like, oh, you could choose to sort of move further into a space with this person, but there's also a part of you that's thinking of choosing something else. And this could be a different person. This could be going into an old relationship, or like staying in something instead of going to something new. Or this could be something, completely different, that like, hey, I actually really want to spend more time focusing on this avenue of my life, or I'm actually not so sure that I'm really interested in like really opening myself up right now. But there does seem like there's like a divide in the road. This card also always reminds us that not making a decision, that is still a decision. And it is really interesting coming after our Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords really reminds us that you are absolutely capable of making a clear choice for yourself. You have every ability at having incredible clarity for yourself. You have a strong presence of mind. So really not making a decision, that feels like, like you have every capability of making a good choice here. So, the universe is kind of reminding you like, hey, you're still gonna have to make a choice if you want to, otherwise it will be made for you. And you have every capability, the full capacity to do so. The moon reversed comes in here. Now, this is very interesting because the moon is a very secretive card, things that are hidden, things that could come to light. But this isn't a reverse position. So I do think that there's a sense here that, like, what you don't know about what's going on here, maybe you're questioning who this person is, maybe you're unsure who this person is, maybe you're questioning this person's intent, whatever it feels like it was hidden. I feel like that is about to come out into the open, and that could be from your own soul as well. Whatever you've been repressing from yourself, again, Queen of Swords, hey, clarity. That is like, there's a door opening for you now. This is all about to be exposed out in the open. This is all about to come clear. This is all about to start moving. The energy of this is going to turn into movement, where things are actually going to start happening, and, like, you know, propulsion stuff, things are going to start, you know, like, coming out into the open. Once you get that that clarity, that understanding, that, like, where things that were repressed or things that were hidden before come out into the open, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I need to do something about this. Now, that does also feel a little bit like this person could have something that's holding them back because they don't want to tell you, that they want to keep a secret from you. They're trying to, but I also think that there's a part of you that can see it anyway. So whatever that would be that would hold them back, it's like something that you already know. Like, you already have an understanding. You've already read the signs. You just saw the truth of things. And so if they think it's something that's hidden, like, and that's stopping them from really fully moving forward or fully leaning in, then that's kind of a thing that, okay, that really does need to come out in the open, because it's keeping them from moving forward. But you already know, like, you already have this understanding. You've already sort of seen this, if that's something you decide to move forward with, because, again, Two of Swords. Now, we have the Seven of Wands. Now, this is a card of maintaining something, maintaining a certain space. So I feel like this person in your world is really just trying to keep whatever is in play the way it is, the way it is. And that could be, again, because they feel like there's something they need to tell you, they need to expose, something that you probably already know, but they don't know that you know, and they don't know that you have this understanding of it. So to them, it's this big hurdle. And I feel like this is trying to stay in stasis. Like, oh, okay, we're not going to necessarily move things forward right now. We're not going to necessarily let them pull back. It's just like, okay, we'll just keep the status quo. Let's just keep things going the way that they're going, because that feels like the safest course of action. And then we have the Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is really interesting, because this is a card of competition. This is a card of, it can be a card fighting, but I'm feeling this in that sort of competitive way, that this person really wants to fight for you. They feel like you are a competitive person. Not that you are competitive, but that you are someone who attracts a lot of attention. It's somebody who they kind of have to insert themselves. They really want to get into the ring of where they feel like other people all have eyes on you. They want to be, you know, hey, I'm here. Like, they want to, like, insert themselves so that, you know, they're competing too. So it feels like they really want to step up. They really want to, there's this impulse and this desire to be competitive for you, and this understanding that you do have this magnetism, you do have this attraction, you do have, you know, you have options. Like, even if you don't know you have options, they see and think that you have options. Okay, yeah, I mean, always our old trusty deck, because she always wants to talk to us. She's always got the goods, always got information. I want to know more about this person. I want to know more about this person. Hopefully some things are ringing some bells for you, where you're like, yeah, I know who this is. I got it. But I want to know more about them, things that you don't know, things that maybe are unclear for you, or that are important for you to know, or about how you two could be together, what the potential is. I'm not specifically asking about that, so that's okay if our old trusty deck doesn't want to tell us that. Hi, Five of Swords. We have another five. So we just end with the Five of Wands. We're starting with the Five of Swords, my Queen of Swords. We have the Seven of Wands reverse, which we just pulled upright. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Nine of Cups, a 10 and then a 9. Oh, really interesting. So we just ended with that Five of, like, hey, I want to be competitive with you. Five of Wands. Now we're in the Five of Swords. So our old trusty deck is also saying that there is a part of this there's a part of this person that also like wants to be ruthless. This can be a card that's like ruthless and, you know, like can be a little cruel. But what I'm really feeling off of this in this instance is I'm really feeling like this person, we know that they kind of want to be competitive for you, but also they want to like, they want to make big decisions. They want to be ruthless with themselves about you. Like you are instigating something within them that makes them want to like be a different kind of person, the kind of person who's like, whatever it takes, whatever it takes, I want to move forward here. Whatever it takes, I want to be the winner here. I want to make decisions. I want to be clear. I want to have, you know, this clarity of thought. And probably because you have that Queen of Swords energy where you have such clarity of thought, you make decisions. You are in a place where they feel like they need to live up to what you're already bringing to the table. And there's a part of them that feels like they have to be a different kind of person. They have to be a kind of person who's like, okay, I'm going to put my comfortable self to the side that I would normally go to. And there's a part of me that wants to do anything necessary to move things forward here, to make this happen, to make this a reality. The Seven of Wands reverse is really interesting because that thing about, you know, they're holding this stasis of like, okay, I'm not going to move things forward, but I'm also not going to let them drop back. I just want to keep things where they are. This tells me that that energy might be shifting right about now, maybe somewhere in the near future, where that won't be enough. So it doesn't feel like you have to push things forward yourself. It feels like they will get to a space where that won't be enough for them, that all of these feelings and emotions that are sort of going on within them, pushing them forward, driving them forward towards you, it feels like that's going to be the thing that like they're going to push themselves towards moving things forward themselves. Stasis will not be enough. They holding, you know, space exactly the way it is, that won't be enough. It will not be fulfilling. It will not, like, the impulse, the desire, the need will overcome them, and they will have to move forward on this. So it feels like there is this like it has to happen. It can only stay in that space for so long before the impulse becomes too much for them to contain, to withhold, to let it stay stagnant or just stay in the same space. The Ten of Pentacles, I love coming in here. This is a card of completion, ending, new beginning. This is a card of abundance, of generational wealth. You know, so what I'm really feeling with this, you know, that I do think we're getting into the physical world here a bit, as the Pentacles often do, getting into like, hey, with this person, you would feel like physically safe and abundant, like you would have the things you need, the money you need, the security you need, the items, the home, the things that surround you would feel good, would feel abundant, would feel happy, would feel wealthy. There's a lot of generosity in that as well, but I also think that gets into like physical well-being. Your body would feel appreciated. Your, you know, that like you would be in good habits with your person in a physical way, from like physical exercise to eating habits, and feeling like there would be some really yummy alignment and some just like a really nice place to be that would feel lovely and abundant. And I also think this is just saying, yeah, this person has great potential. This person has great potential to feel like, oh, things are really coming in for us. Things are really like, this feels like power coupledom. This feels like, oh, this is a new beginning that feels fresh and feels good and feels like I'm a whole new me. And we're a whole new us. And then the Nine of Cups comes in, which I love. So our old trusty deck kind of telling us here, sometimes we call this the genie in the bottle card. This cups getting into feelings and emotions, which we haven't seen yet. We don't have any cups on the table yet. Right now we have swords, we have wands, and then we have one major arcana card, and that's it. So really, you know, like there's a lot of like mental energy here, a lot of like this, oh, and Pentacles, of course, with our Ten of Pentacles, circles, but we haven't heard a lot about the heart space. Well, what is the heart space and feeling space doing with you guys? Like, what is the potential for that? And our old trusty deck is saying, hey, also, just so you know, like, yeah, you will be intellectually stimulated. Like, this is a space where there's an incredible mental relationship and a mental, there's a lot of mental stuff happening. There's also a lot of passion and purpose and like some fire energy running underneath of everything, attraction, and then, you know, getting into the physical world. But also, it's really important for you to know that your heart space, your emotional space, this has the potential to bring it all in, to feel like I'm getting everything. Whoa, I'm getting it all. I have so many feelings, so many emotions. I feel like I could just, like everything I'm wishing for is just dropping in. It is like, oh, yes, 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 just over and over and over again for your emotions and for your feelings. So that really reassures a lot of, you know, everything else that's going on, that yeah, your heart space and your emotional space has incredible potential with this person as well. Just an overflow, feeling good. I mean, just love, you know. which I love. I want to pull into our gold deck. I want to pull into our gold deck, and I just want to so first of all, I want to see if there's anything blocking this from becoming what it could become. Are there any major blocks here for this, you know, evolving into soulmateship? What, if there are, what are those? So actually I'm feeling, yeah, okay, so I'm feeling like we are continuing. Okay, one more card here from our gold deck. Thank you. Okay, this is what we have from our gold deck. So we have, we have the Emperor. We have the Chariot. We have the High Priestess. And we have the Four of Cups. So we're asking very specifically about blocks. And the first two, so first of all, we have the Emperor. And the Emperor coming in here with that blocking energy, this is really interesting because this person, Emperor energy, can be wonderful. I mean, like hyper masculine, you know, just like I've achieved a lot, I've done a lot of stuff, I can tell you about what I've achieved. But also it can get into, there might be a part of this person's personality that wants to control things, that wants to take the reins, that wants to take control over everything. There's also a possibility that they need a lot of praise for their achievements, that they really need to be recognized. That could be a fine thing, depending on you, but that could also be something that really annoys you. That could be something that's like, okay, yeah, you did a great job. Yeah, you're amazing. But maybe you also feel compelled to, yeah, you did a great job. You are amazing. Maybe you feel compelled to do that. But this seems like it has the potential to be problematic. It could come in as a block, that there's like, maybe they're not getting what they need right away. Maybe their ego's not being stroked the right way. Or maybe you don't want to stroke an ego, or maybe there's just a little conflicting energy there, or they're a little too controlling and you have such presence of mind, you do not want to be controlled, and there could be some conflicting energy. It doesn't mean that it's not going to work out. It's just coming up as a block. We also have the Chariot, which is really interesting to come up as a block, because the Chariot is momentum. I mean, this is action-based, forward-moving energy. It's very fast. It's very big. So what I'm really seeing here is that we had that Seven of Wands upright, and then we had it reversed. So I'm really feeling this feeling of like, hey, they might not be making moves in the way that would turn you on. That like, you want big, bold action. You want someone who is willing to like this person has the impulse to step in, to be competitive, to be ruthless, but they're keeping stasis right now. And of course, there's that feeling of like, oh, eventually they're going to start taking action, because they can't just contain it. They can't just keep things the status quo. It will become unbearable. They have to make more of a move. They have to move things along. But it might not be the way that you want it to be. So this could even be if this is a person that you are, you know, dating right now, or something, that they didn't mean to fall in love with you, but they did. And they like, you know, they're still not moving things forward the way that you would want them to, that they're still stuck, they're still stagnant, they're still like running hot and cold or doing things that really annoy you that way. That this could be that kind of thing that you feel like, I need action, I need movement, I need momentum. Let's move this thing. Like, I'm ready to go. That could become a real block, that this person could need some time to get that momentum going, because it feels like they are not in momentum energy right now. Certainly it feels like they are in like, okay, I'm holding the line. And then again, I'm just going to tap back to what we sort of were gleaning before, that they might have something that they feel they need to tell you in order to move things forward, something to be vulnerable about, that you already kind of have an idea about, that you kind of already get a feeling off of, but they don't understand that you kind of already understand. So that to them it's a bigger deal maybe than it is to you, or it is a big deal to you, and so you are kind of reluctant to move forward because of that thing, but because you are already getting a feeling off of that thing. But there's something there that's kind of holding things up, and then this feels like it could be a big block, that the momentum of the two of you is not the same. What you need from each other is not the same. What you want from each other, as far as like how fast we're taking action, how fast we're moving, would not be the same. Now we have the High Priestess coming in as a block. So this is really interesting, because this energy, it is not opposing Queen of Swords energy, because Queen of Swords energy is incredibly wise, incredibly smart, incredibly incisive. High Priestess energy is incredibly wise, incredibly smart, incredibly incisive. Queen of Priestess, High Priestess energy is much more intuitive, though. It is much more in the sphere of like, hey, I can read things between the veil. Like, I'm the third pillar between dark and light. Like, I'm reading between the lines. And Queen of Swords energy might be more like, let's get really scientific here. Let's get reality based. Let's get very concrete about what's going on. And High Priestess can be much more energetic. So what I'm seeing here is that there might be a part of you that is blocking the intuitive stuff that's coming in for you. And before you put up a big, like, no, I am not, any kind of defensiveness, which I find happens with the cards all the time. All the time. The defensive things pop up all the time with reading. So this is just something to be aware of and to come out with curiosity. Just think, okay, the cards are suggesting this. If it were true that I am not really in touch with my intuition right now, it doesn't mean you're not always, that you are always. Just means right now, maybe I'm not in touch with my intuition. Maybe I'm just trying to be very black and white and like, this is what they said, this is what they meant. This is what they did, this is what they meant. Like getting more into the energetics of things. Well, this is how I felt when they said that. This is what I felt off them. This is what I thought they were actually trying to tell me. This is energetically what I was reading. I was reading, like, I don't know why I think this, because they didn't say it explicitly, but I think that, I was actually reading a lot more emotion and feeling than what they were displaying and saying. So I would love for you to, this is coming in as a block, so I would love for you to really get in touch with that part of yourself. Just be curious about it. Like, okay, I'm gonna be questioning myself and the way that I'm viewing things, and just see if, I'm going to review some of our past, I'm going to review some things right now and just see energetically what I was actually feeling and get in touch with that. Because distancing yourself from this part of yourself could act as a real block. If you're really reading things in black and white, you might not get really important information that could move you forward. It could be like, oh, nope, that was saying that thing, that was a red flag for me. And I've set boundaries around that, so I'm out. Or you could instead, be like, oh, well, hearing that thing said is a red flag for me. That is setting a boundary. But also I was feeling like they were actually saying this, this, and this. And then you could discuss that with them too. You could bring that up and talk from an energetic space. I know you said this, but it really felt like this, like because you did this thing and because you took this action, or the way that you said it, maybe your tone of voice or something, it felt like you were actually saying this. Is that right? Is that true? Is that something I'm just making up? What is your take on that? And then we have the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is the card of, it's basically saying no. It's kind of like, a waiter coming around and saying, "Hey, well, can I get you anything else off the menu?" And them saying, "No, no, thanks. No, I'm good. I got it." And it's a very closed off sort of space. Now this gets into the cups, which, we know that there's this big potential from our old trusty deck at the 9 of Cups. It's like, oh, everything coming in, feelings and emotions. But with the 4 of Cups as a block, this makes so much sense as a block, by the way. It feels like it's saying like, oh, they might be really closed off to the feelings and emotions that are coming up. So it is that kind of thing of they might really be trying to repress it, even though they have accidentally fallen in love with you. They might be kind of pushing it away or trying to like reason it away, or trying to reason it like, oh, but do we make sense this way, or like I'm not supposed to be, I can't get into a relationship so close after being in another relationship, like la la la. It doesn't make sense. We don't even really know each other. I don't know her well enough. All of those things could be coming up where they're just sort of pushing it away and pushing it away. So let's take a little look about action steps you can take if you decide you do want to move this forward. But yeah, that is what I want to look at. Okay, so I'm going to go into our lavender deck. I'm going to our lavender deck to just look at some action steps you can take if you do want to move this forward. What are some action steps you can take if you do really want this path to open up to see the full potential of what it could be? That 9 of Cups energy, bring it all in, lay it all down. So let's see what we have. These are action steps to help get beyond those blocks to see what this could actually become. Okay, hi! We have the Sun. That makes so much sense. We have the 8 of Wands. Oh my goodness, we have the Knight of Cups. We have the 2 of Swords reversed. We pulled the 2 of Swords as our third cup in. I'm telling you. Also, I said the Queen of Priestess, didn't I? Our third cup in, our third card in. Yeah. So, first of all, the Sun comes in. Oh, I love this card. I really love this card. The Sun coming in and just saying, okay, these are action steps to help move this forward, to step into this if you want to help those blocks break down. The Sun is saying, all right, what I want you to do is I want you to get real playful. Get really playful, get your playful hat on, get your joyful hat on, get your optimistic hat on, get your powered up, most energetic self together. And this is really sort of coming at this with like a buoyant energy that like things feel good. See how playful you can be stepping into any interactions that you have with this person. And really practice this in life. This isn't just for the times that you're with this person. It's for all the time. How playful can you be? And playful just, can take all sorts of shapes. It can be smiling is pretty playful. Being a little, like witty is playful, which you have all that brain power. Letting yourself sort of dip into it and see funny things and see like, what's all the little patterns and things. But also it can really just be that thing of like, hey, I'm not taking this so seriously. Like I'm coming at everything with the lightness of being. Like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna be playful. I'm just gonna, oh, okay, well, my response to that is gonna be not so serious, because not everything is so serious. It feels pretty light. It feels pretty joyful. Feels pretty fun. Feels pretty like, this is nice. There's nothing too dire here. The next thing we have coming in is the 8, and I love to give you something concrete to help you embody those actions, to help you break down these blocks. So I do want you to practice that in everyday life, that playfulness. But what I really like you to do is to pick something concrete, like, okay, well, every time, I go to this place every day. I go to this coffee shop every day. Every time I go to that coffee shop, I am going to practice being playful with the barista, being playful with the other people online. Like, don't you hate when that happens? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Whatever it is, don't take things so seriously. No big deal. Not too much on the line. Who cares if you make a fool of yourself? No big deal. Nobody cares. Like, it's like a lovely sunshiny day. Happy. All good. That is what I would like you to do, is to add it, insert it into your life every day. with something you do where you're interacting in the world. And if you don't feel safe to do this with other people, you can do this by yourself too. You can be playful with, with the items in your home. Talk out loud to your items. Talk out loud to your, like, what would be playful interacting with just your world, your physical world around you. Like maybe it's giving pet names to things and patting things, and that great word anthropomorphizing things, making them like a little like interaction with the physical items in your world. So if you don't feel safe out in the world doing it with people, start trying it. Like, okay, every day when I clean, when I tidy up, I'm gonna let myself be really playful with everything I'm doing. Oh yeah, you just get right in that pan. Good job, you did good. Oh, you really don't want to go in, do you? Really don't want to get in there, do you? Oh, you're stubborn, whatever it is. Now I'm moving to our Eight of Wands. Now our Eight of Wands is a very fast moving card. It's a wonderful card. It's a fast moving card, and it's a go with the flow card. It is a card that says, hey, there's already momentum going in one direction, and that direction is the direction you want to go. So let yourself just ride. You don't have to strong arm this. And I always think of this as like, oh, there's this rushing river, and you're going to get in, you're going to swim somewhere, and the universe already wants to take you to your destination, which is thankfully with the current. So all you have to do really is get in the water. You barely have to swim anywhere. You barely have to do that much. This isn't something where like, hey, your destination is upstream and now you need to like Olympic swim up this water, like up this current. No, it's none of that. This isn't something that you're going to have to struggle over. This is something that's easy. So as a practice item for like picking up this energy, boy, I would say something that would be really fun is like taking a little like walk just to set the habit of this, set this in your brain as you move through your week right now. And again, this is immediate energy, so I want you to step into this right away today. I would say like it could be like going on a walk where all you have to do is follow the signs. If the sign says walk, you walk. If it says stop, you turn and you continue. So you just take the path as the path opens up to you. If there's, like a whole bunch of like road work, or there's like a ton of, like scary looking dogs or something, like then you cross, look both ways and safely cross the street. You just easily follow the path as it opens up to you. You let yourself be guided, and you take, like you have to still do the walking, yourself to go, but you don't have to worry about, I have to follow this map. How do I get there? How do I get to this destination? How do I, and just let the world sort of guide you to where you're going, which is probably just back home, back around to where you are. But any way that you can implement that kind of thought process in your life, if you have another thought of something, put that into play. Let that be in play, but something where you can habitualize that for right now, because that's what the cards are bringing up as your action item, as an action item for you to help these blocks dissolve, to move this forward. Because you want to start to create that with this person as well, that feeling of like, oh, this is taking me where I want to go. All I have to do is flow with the energy. I don't have to strong arm this. I don't have to control this. I don't have to fight in this energy. I can just let the energy flow because it's going where I want it to go. Okay, then we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is very interesting, popping in as an action item. What I would say I would love for you to do with this is possibly to write yourself a love letter from your person. Now, this does not have to be from this person, but from the perspective of like your eventual soulmate, that your person is writing to you about their heart space, maybe what you really want to hear from a person, how they feel, how much they love you, how much they care about you, what the markers are that matter to you that they feel. This really does get into feelings and emotions with the cup. So really staying in that feeling-based space, but also why they choose you. What is so magical about you? What do you want them to notice about you? What do you want them to care about in your personality, in your physicality, in your world? What are the things that you want to matter to them that show up in this letter? This doesn't have to be a huge 7-page letter. This could be just a quickie little letter. But if you want it to be a huge 7-page letter, go ahead. I would do that today. And then we have the Two of Swords reversed. So we had the Two of Swords that came right after a Queen of Swords when we first started pulling cards. And that is like decisions are going to need to be made. You're going to have to make choices. You're going to have to decide some things here. Now, things are coming up. You have that great brain space. You have every capability of making clear, wonderful choices and decisions. So don't use that as an excuse because we pulled the Queen of Swords right before we pulled that card. The Two of Swords reverse popping up here as an action item to help with these blocks is really interesting because we know you're going to have to make a choice. But this card is kind of indicating that in order to sort of get around these blocks, or as an action item for you right now to step into this relationship or this connection, or to step into this as something bigger than where it is right now, then this feels like it's saying, okay, yes, you are going to have to make a decision, and you're good at making decisions, and you're going to, and you can't defer that, for a very long time. However, in the immediacy, and I would say, so Two of Swords, let's take it for like 2 days. Let's say for the next 2 days, you let yourself sit in a space where you don't have to make choices. You don't have to make decisions the way you normally do. Do it a different way. Make decisions from a different way than you normally would. If you normally would say, oh, well, I would, that is something that like pro and con, and, okay, instead, I'm going to choose energetically. Energetically, I'm feeling this. Even though that is reasonably the better decision, I am feeling this. So I'm going to do that. Let yourself choose and make a decisions in your life, like all around, from a space that's completely different than the space you would normally do it. And also, this is saying you also don't have to make decisions. You can for 2 days, you can let the universe make decisions for you. And that could be a lesson the universe is trying to give you about making decisions when it comes time. I'm not sure. The cards are always important, so sometimes they line up in a way where you're like, oh, I understand why that was an action item, because I needed to do that in order to realize how important it is that I make a decision now, because what I want the universe to do to make decisions for me doesn't work for me. I like making decisions. I like making choices, so I'm going to do it again. But also it could be that there's space here for you to find a new way, getting into that High Priestess energy versus just, that reasonable, rational, factual thinking, in intellectual space. Or it could also just be that, hey, the universe wants to guide you a little bit to like take you somewhere else, because we do have that Eight of Wands energy popping in, which is like, hey, I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna take you. I'll get you there. Don't worry. Follow me. I got this. Oh my, okay. Oh, this is so fun and so interesting. Please comment. I want to know what you're going to do, if you're going to do any of those or all of those. Let me know. Okay, I want to pull some oracle cards for you. I want to go on forever. And I know that this is already expanding out, but there's just so much we could dive into. I will make sure there's a link below so you can, get more answers as well. But let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you. Before we do, shall we drop the sun for our emoji? Because I love the sun card. Unfortunately, there is no queen priestess or priestess queen or whatever, high queen, whatever it was that I said, putting the two cards together, because then we could drop that. Let's drop the sun for that joy, for that playfulness of spirit, for that warmth, for that power, for that optimism. Yum. Also, please subscribe if you have not already. Please love this video. And let's pull some oracle cards for you. I'm gonna pull a Moonology card first. So pulling a Moonology card for you first, we have, expect powerful change. New moon eclipse. Expect powerful change. Big, powerful change is coming. That's exciting. This all feels exciting, doesn't it? It all feels exciting to me. I'm also going to pull an angel and ancestor card for you. And I also have a one-word like guidance card that I want to pull for you as well. Sage, be devoted and committed. Be devoted and committed. Yeah. Sage is also really interesting. You know, it's wise, wisdom. We have the High Priestess for you, and we have the Queen of Swords. I really think you're coming from a very powerful base of knowing your inner self, the exterior world. You have such sound capacity to interact with the world and to interact with yourself and to interact with this person. Use that wisdom and let yourself just keep deepening it. Don't get stopped by like, this is how I normally process information. This is how I normally would do things. Let yourself just like, I'm open and expansive. I'm open to seeing everything and to finding new ways, which is a very smart thing. I've always thought, the smartest people I know are ones that understand how much they don't understand. That they're very aware of how much there actually is beyond their knowing. Okay, so I have some little one word guidance, focus words that I want to pull one for you. Oh, we have a big truck going by, so hopefully you won't hear that. Okay. Clarity. How funny. Clarity comes in for you. Queen of Swords, High Priestess. Of course it does. Of course it does. Clarity. Oh, I'm sending you off with all the clarity, with all the sunshine energy, with all the love, with every good thing, building you up, moving you forward, and with lots of homework, lots of things to do. And I would like to hear about it. Please comment. Big comments, all of the things. I want to know everything. Or just say, hi, good to see you, love you, mwah. And hi, good to see you, love you, mwah, to you. Sending you love, I'm sending you so much light. I'm going to see you so soon. Mwah. Mia.